Everyone and welcome to our channel. Today I'll discuss The Heart of Darkness, written by Joseph Conrad in 1899. Okay, then let's begin. It was written by Joseph Conrad inspired by his journey to Congo in 1890. It's a novella and we can consider this novella as an autobiographical work. Heart of Darkness originally appeared serially in Blackout's magazine in 1899. It was eventually published as a whole in 1902 as a third work in a volume titled Youth. Since its publication in Youth, the novel has fascinated numerous readers and critics, almost all of whom regard the novel as an important one because of the ways it uses ambiguity and fogginess to dramatize Marlowe's perception of the horror he encounters. Conrad's work, Heart of Darkness, in particular, provide a bridge between Victorian values and the ideals of modernism. Like much of the best modernist literature produced in the early decades of the 20th century, Heart of Darkness is as much about alienation, confusion, and profound doubts as it is about imperialism. Imperialism is nevertheless at the center of Heart of Darkness. Although Heart of Darkness was one of the first literary texts to provide a critical view of European imperial activities, it was initially read by critics as anything but controversial. Heart of Darkness centers around Marlowe, an introspective sailor, and his journey up the Congo River to meet Kurds, reputed to be an idealistic man of great abilities. Marlowe takes a job as a riverboat captain with a company, a Belgian concern organized to trade in the Congo. As he travels to Africa and then up the Congo, Marlowe encounters widespread inefficiency and brutality in the company station. The native inhabitants of the region have been forced into the company's service, and they suffer terribly from overwork and ill treatment at the hands of the company's agent. The cruelty and squalor of imperial enterprise contrasts sharply with the impassive and majestic jungle that surrounds the white man's settlements, making them appear to be tiny islands amidst a vast darkness. Marlowe arrives at the central station, run by the general manager, an unwholesome, conspiratorial character. He finds that his steamship has been sunk and spends several months waiting for parts to repair it. His interest in Kurds grows during this period. The manager and his favorite, the brickmaker, seem to fear Kurds as a threat to their position, which is rumored to be ill, making the delays in repairing the ship all the more costly. Marlowe eventually gets the parts he needs to repair his ship, and he and the manager set out with a few agents and a crew of cannibals on a long difficult voyages up the river. The dense jungle and the oppressive silence make everyone aboard a little jumpy, and the occasional glimpse of a native villager or the sound of drums work the pilgrims into frenzy. Marlowe and his crew come across a hut with stacked firewood, together with a note saying that the wood is for them, but that they should approach cautiously. Shortly after the steamer has taken on the firewood, it is surrounded by a dense fog. When the fog clears, the ship is attacked by an unseen band of natives who fire arrows from the safety of the forest. The African helmsman is killed before Marlowe frightens the natives with the ship's steam whistle. Not long after, Marlowe and his companion arrive at Kurtz's station, expecting to find him dead. But a half-crazed Russian trader who meets them as they come ashore assures them that everything is fine and informs that he is the one who left the wood. The Russian claims that Kurtz has enlarged his mind and cannot be subjected to same moral judgment as normal people. Apparently, Kurtz has established himself as a god with the natives and has gone on brutal raids in the surrounding territory in search of ivory. The collection of several heads adorning the fence post around the state attest to his methods. The pilgrims bring Kurtz out of station house on a stretcher, and a large group of native warriors pours out of the forest and surrounds them. Kurtz speaks to them, and the natives disappears into the woods. The manager brings Kurtz, who is quite ill, aboard the steamer. A beautiful native woman, apparently Kurtz's mistress, appears on the shore and stares out at the sea. The Russian implies that she is somehow involved with Kurtz and has caused trouble before through her influence over him. The Russian reveals to Marlowe, after swearing him to secrecy, that Kurtz had ordered the attack on the steamer to make them believe he was dead in order that they might turn back and leave him to his plans. The Russian then leave by canoe, fearing the displeasure of the manager. Kurtz disappeared in the night, and Marlowe goes out in search of him, finding him crawling on fours toward the native camp. Marlowe stops him and convinces him to return to the ship. They set off down the river the next morning, but Kurtz's health is falling fast. Marlowe listens to Kurtz talk while he pilots the ship, and Kurtz entrusts Marlowe with a pack of personal documents, including an eloquent pamphlet on civilizing the savages, which ends with a scrawled message that says, "Exterminate all the brutes." The steamer breaks down, and they have to stop for repairs. Kurtz dies utterly his last word, "the horror, the horror." In the presence of the confused Marlowe, Marlowe falls ill soon after and barely survives. Eventually, he returns to Europe and goes to see Kurtz's intended. She is still in mourning, even though it has been over a year since Kurtz's death, and she praises him as a paragon of virtue and achievement. She asks what his last words were, but Marlowe cannot bring himself to shelter her illusion with the truth. Instead, he tells that Kurtz's last word was her name. This is all about Heart of Darkness. Thank you.